All right, let's jump straight into today's explainer. Picture this. You are a system administrator, right? You're doing the most routine, everyday chore imaginable, running a simple software update on your data center infrastructure. You type the command, hit enter, and you're just waiting to move on with your day. But suddenly, out of nowhere, your security alarm starts screaming. Your corporate proxy slams the door shut, and your antivirus engines are throwing around terrifying words like Trojan and malware. Well, today, we are breaking down a really fascinating recent event, the Proxmox package scare. It's this incredibly compelling look at how a totally minor software update can instantly morph into a high-stakes incident response drill, one that tests the very foundation of trust in our modern infrastructure.
This quote right here perfectly captures the reality of the situation. Nobody wants to install a poisoned container package on a hypervisor. I mean, from a security professional's perspective, a hypervisor isn't just another server. It's the absolute bedrock of your entire data center. It controls every virtual machine, the containers, backup servers, internal apps, your secrets, management networks, literally everything running on top of it. If a compromised package actually makes it onto that root-level infrastructure, game over. A false positive is a headache for sure, but a real supply chain compromise at the hypervisor level, that is an absolute nightmare scenario.
So, here is our roadmap for unpacking this whole incident. First, we'll look at the radioactive package update. Second, why signatures are not magic. Third, transparent verification in action. Fourth, the great rebuild debate. And finally, why trust is a chain.
Let's start with part 1, the radioactive package update.
Let's walk through this timeline, because it really highlights how a boring admin chore turned into a sudden, massive panic. Minute 1, our admin runs an apt upgrade to pull a standard package from the Proxmox repository. Just a standard LXC container package, specifically LXC-PVE.7.0.0-1. Minute 2, bam! A corporate antivirus proxy violently blocks the download. Minute 5, folks start uploading the file to VirusTotal, and suddenly multiple scanners light up screaming Trojan and malware. Seriously, in under 5 minutes, you go from sipping your morning coffee to potentially dealing with a catastrophic breach. You've got a signed package from an official repo, sure, but you've also got incredibly scary scanner output and a forum thread that is rapidly filling up with some very nervous technical detectives.
Moving right along to part 2, signatures are not magic.
This brings us to the triage phase. Now, the community was totally torn here between calling this a simple false positive or a full-blown supply chain nightmare. To really understand the confusion, you have to look at the specific file that triggered those alarms. The flagged file was init.lxc.static. Now, this is a weird, statically linked piece of LXC plumbing. It's an unusual low-level binary that often trips up heuristic scanners just because it looks packed to them, which perfectly explains why a twitchy antivirus engine, especially one that's mostly used to hunting Windows malware, might mistakenly panic when it sees it. It's a total edge case.
As you might guess, the community immediately split into 2 distinct mindsets. You had the relaxed camp, who basically argued that antivirus engines are notoriously terrible at judging Linux packages anyway. They figured it's almost certainly a false positive, and hey, the Proxmox GPG signature is totally valid. It's probably fine, right? But then you had the skeptical camp. They pointed out a pretty chilling reality. If you're a security professional, it's probably fine is never, ever an acceptable substitute for a rigorous process. CI/CD attacks, where hackers actually compromise the servers that build the software itself, are incredibly real right now. A valid GPG signature only proves the file wasn't altered after it was built. It does absolutely zilch to prove that the build system itself wasn't compromised before the signature was applied. And that realization right there, that is what elevated this from a casual forum argument to a very serious investigation.
Which brings us to part 3, transparent verification in action.
So, to get past the theories, you need real proof. When anxiety hits a data center, infrastructure professionals don't just guess, they start doing math. To definitively prove a file is safe, incident responders rely on transparent verification. They calculate massive cryptographic hashes, like this massive SHA-256 string, to get a visceral mathematical fingerprint of the exact file they are dealing with. That is the kind of heavy forensic work required to establish true safety. Let's break down exactly how they executed that transparent verification process. Step 1. Check the GPG signature to rule out any tampering in transit. Standard stuff. But step 2, and this is honestly the genius part, they compared that massive SHA-256 hash against older cached copies of the exact same package that were just sitting on users' local servers from days earlier. When those hashes matched perfectly, boom, it acted as a flawless forensic alibi. It meant the file on the server hadn't been quietly swapped out by a hacker an hour ago. It was the exact same file that had always been there.
Then, step 3, Proxmox staff analyzed a newer, clean build on a totally different machine. They found that while the binary layouts changed slightly, which stopped the scanner alarms, the core file size and logic remained exactly identical. Mathematically speaking, it was 100% a false positive.
All right, part 4, the great rebuild debate.
Now, proving a package is mathematically safe doesn't actually solve your real-world operational problem, because if a file gets flagged, it breaks things, period. Take a look at these numbers. 14 out of 55 scanners flagged this file as malicious, while 41 passed it as clean. That ratio right there represents a massive operational roadblock. Because of those 14 flags, corporate proxies are going to forcibly block admins from downloading the update. Security dashboards are going to flash red, change management windows will get delayed, the file is not compromised, no, but it's definitely not harmless either, because it completely breaks the infrastructure upgrade path. And this sparked a truly fascinating debate over how to mitigate the mess. The rebuild camp had a very practical take. Proxmox should just ship a fresh build, let's call it 7.0.0-2, where that slightly different binary layout simply doesn't trigger the scanners. You appease the proxies, let admins do their jobs, and protect the vendor's ultimate product, which is, at the end of the day, trust. But on the other side, you have the don't rebuild camp. They argued based on a deep principle. If you rebuild perfectly clean software just because an antivirus engine got confused, you are actively rewarding biased heuristics. Even worse, if you train your admins to expect a brand new build every single time a scanner panics, you end up burying actual real threats under a mountain of endless false positive noise. Because if everything is a fire drill, you know what happens? People eventually stop listening to the alarms altogether.
And finally, part 5, trust is a chain. Both sides of that rebuild debate actually make incredibly valid points. But the broader lesson here is really about how we build a chain of trust. This entire incident was basically a masterclass in modern infrastructure security. Going forward, there's a rigorous checklist of questions every serious admin needs to ask the second an alarm goes off. Where did the package come from? Does the GPG signature actually verify? Does the SHA-256 hash match cached copies? Which specific file inside the package is actually causing the flag? Are the engines detecting it highly reputable, or are they just relying on noisy heuristics? And crucially, has the vendor responded officially to close the loop? Remember, security professionals don't guess, they don't panic, they investigate, using the incredible speed of the community combined with official, transparent communication from the vendor.
Which brings us to our final takeaway for today. Trust is not a checkbox. It's a chain of habits. You simply cannot just buy a security scanner, check a box on a form, and assume your hypervisors are safe. True security is an active, living chain. It's signed repositories, reproducible builds, rapid community investigation, and having the humility to verify transparently every single time. So let me ask you this. The next time your data center upgrade gets blocked by a proxy throwing up some scary malware name, what are you going to do? Are you just going to laugh it off as a glitch? Or are you going to demand the hash first? I really hope you demand the hash. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep asking the right questions.